Hi, my name is Tiffany Fugate, and today I'm going to show you how to create this Google form. Notice that we have an image up here at the top, and we have 5 multiple choice questions. So we're going to create this exact form today. In order to get started on this, I need you to navigate to your Drive by going to drive.google.com, or if you're in any Google app, you could use the app launcher here in order to go to your Drive. It's the yellow, green, and blue triangle. It looks sort of like a recycling symbol. Okay. Once you're in your Drive, you'll want to go and click on New and go down to More. And Google Forms will be the first selection under More. So click on Google Forms to create a new Google form. Okay. By default, all of this around here is purple. So the first thing you want to do is customize your form. Remember, the form that we want you to create has the image of the book at the top. So in order to get that on your form, we're going to go here to where it says Color Palette. So click there, and at first all you see is different colors. So you could just change your form to a different color by clicking on any of these colors. So if you wanted it to be green, then you could click on green. But we want the book. So the book can be found by clicking on this mountaintop picture icon. Anytime you see this mountaintop icon, that indicates that you can insert a picture. Okay, so we're going to click here. Under Work and School, where it says Select Theme, if you'll scroll down just a little bit, you'll see that book. Select the book, then hit Select here at the bottom. So now, as you notice, we've got the image that we want up here at the top. The next thing we want you to do is give your form a title. So right here where it says Untitled Form, if you will type in the words Poll the Audience. If you'll type in your title here first, then click up here on the upper left-hand side, it'll automatically change the name of your form in both places. So now we've got it titled. We have it customized. We're ready to start inserting the question. So this is a very easy process. The first one's already there for you, so just click where it says Untitled Questions, and this is where you're going to begin typing the first one. So the brain is hardwired for reading. And notice that as I'm typing, I can have this suggestion add all. Since it's yes and no, I could go ahead and click on that, and then it's easier to delete options than it is to add them. So if I need to delete maybe, I'll just come over here to this X and get rid of it. Now I'm just yes or no. So the brain is hardwired for reading. By default, it's set on a multiple choice question, so we've got that there. Over here is where you can make that question required or not required. If you want your participants to have to answer this question before they can submit the form, then you need to make sure that this is turned on. If it's turned off, then they do not have to answer the question. They can submit the form without answering. So you may want to turn these on. Since all of these are yes or no questions, probably your best bet here would be to use the duplicate button, which can be found right here by the trash can. Okay, this makes a copy of the question. So we're going to make a copy. Okay. Now your options are already there for you, so you'll just have to change your question. Since I made a copy, it made it required. Just make sure you're paying attention to these. To know if it's required or not, at the end of the question up here, it will put a red star if you've made it a required question. So just a good way to keep track of that. Another way to create a new question other than using the duplicate button is to click on this button right here where it allows you to add a question. This one's going to start over from scratch, so your options won't be there. But I'm going to go ahead. You'll have 3 more questions that you want to type in. Yes and no for your options. I think you guys probably have the gist of it by now. You can go ahead and create those last 2 on your own. The next thing I want to go over real quickly is how to share your form with the respondents that you want to have fill the form out. You might be tempted just to come up here and copy this link. This is actually the link to the editable form, so you don't want to send that out, or people are going to be messing with your questions. You don't want to have that. So this is not the link that you want to send out. What you want to do is you want to come over here. Well, first of all, you may want to go to your settings menu. If you are using a G Suite for Education account, by default, it restricts those forms to within your domain. So if you want people outside of your domain to be able to respond to this form, you need to deselect that and hit save. Okay. In order to send the form out, you need to click on the button that says send. You can send this out via email by typing in individual email accounts, or you can copy and paste here from a CSV file in order to get your emails in that way. The advantage to doing this is that it keeps track with who's responded to your form and who hasn't. If you sent this out to 20 people and there are 5 people that haven't responded yet, then there will be an option for you to send out an email reminder to those 5. So that's one advantage to sending it out via email. Most people just send these forms out via a link. So in order to get the link, you're going to click on this button here. You can get a long link, or you can click on this button right here and it shortens the URL. I would advise to shorten the URL because sometimes when you send those out via email, parts of the link can get cut off, and so the shorter the URL, probably the better. So this is what you want to copy. Once you've clicked that, you can either hit Control-C, or if you're on a Mac, you can hit Command-C, or you can just hit the copy button and that copies. And then you can paste that into an email. One last thing I want to go over before we're done is how to get your responses. We're going to look at a form that I already have responses for, so you'll see what that looks like when they come back in. Okay, so this form here has 37 responses. Here's the questions, okay? So in order to get the responses, you're going to click up here where it says responses. You can look at the responses a couple of different ways. By default, it gives you a summary of responses. So with all your yes and no questions, you should be getting pie graphs like this, with the percentage of the people who've answered yes versus the percentage of people who have answered no. So all of your questions, the responses to your questions within the summary, should look similar to this. Okay, notice that once I hover over a question, if I want to copy that and put that data in a Google slide or a Google Doc, it'll allow me to copy those charts now. That's one of the relatively newer features of forms. The other way I can look at these is individually. So if I want to see what an individual person said, then I can do that as well. All right. Last but not least, if you want to make a spreadsheet of your responses, then you can do that by clicking on this green button that looks like a sheet. Okay, this will export all of those responses to a Google Sheet and might help with being able to look at all your responses at once in an organized manner. Okay, that's about it. Good luck with creating your form, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email is tiffany.fugate@arkansas.gov. Thank you guys very much.